Okay, today, every time I work on this, I feel like almost a little bit sneaky because I should be doing other work for my other jobs. But yeah, today we're gonna do a little bit of everything. I know I said in my last video that I was gonna pick up right where I left off with the acetylcholine, but I actually have been I was doing a little bit of brainstorming this week. I'm on text like 38 right now, so we're getting pretty close, but I just think today we're gonna see where the wind takes us. I might put some stuff in my literature review. I will probably read, and I'm definitely going to start putting together some pieces that I think are gonna be important for my neural network. So let's jump into everything. Okay, here we go. We've now unlocked a new document called the neural network. I might change that name because it feels so like grand and like I don't know. I feel like it makes me feel a little bit intimidated. I'm gonna call it my neural network. I've been having a little bit of a crisis sometimes because sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, does this make sense for you? I don't know how to put it, but like I look at myself, I'm like, do you make sense in this? And sometimes I feel like no. I don't know if I don't know if that's imposter syndrome. Maybe it's a bit of imposter syndrome, but I just look at myself, I'm like, does it make sense for you to be doing this? It doesn't. I don't know how to put it, but it does, but it just feels, I don't know, sometimes I just look at myself and I get a little bit like, what? But yeah, but I actually the other day I was like, you know what? I need to start surrounding myself with images of women in STEM that inspire me. And I'm gonna show you two before we get into this so we can start on an inspirational note. Okay, this image is one that inspires me so much. I look at this image like all the time and it just makes me feel like, yeah, I don't know. It just makes me feel inspired. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. I'm sorry that this is from Reddit, so random. But anyways, this is Margaret Hamilton. She basically she's standing next to a stack of program listings from the Apollo guidance computer in a photograph taken in 1969. She led the NASA software team that landed astronauts on the moon. This picture inspires me so much. She actually hand wrote all of these notes. Like you see all these books, they're all just notes handwritten by her. I swear she's like, I love this picture and I look at it all of the time. And yeah, I don't know, it just inspires me, first of all. So that's the first one. Second of all, is one a little bit more specific to my ethnicity that I learned the other day looking up female neuroscientists because I was like, why don't I know? Wait, I've just been looking up more women in my field recently. I looked up like women in psychology that have developed therapies because I want to get inspired. I didn't know that EMDR was developed by a woman, and I love that. And I was really inspired too because the I'd read this before. Wait, let's show her. This is Francine Shapiro who developed EMDR, and I was so inspired. I was so sad that she just died like in the last so many people that I've been reading about as I go along this process that I've been like, oh my God, I hope that I meet them one day. I looked them up and they've died within the last like 5, 6 years, and it's so tragic. Like so many people that I've just been looking up that I have written texts that I've been writing, reading and things like that. But it's really unfortunate. So I need to run in and figure out how to meet everybody that I am interested in. But anyways, yeah, so Francine Shapiro, it was pretty interesting because the way that she developed EMDR, if you don't know what EMDR is, it is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. So basically it's actually one of the really like good therapies for PTSD and also for dissociation. Is like I actually read some text that a lot of people were recommending this particular text for this particular type of therapy for their patients that had dissociation, dissociative disorders, etc. But basically, you're guided through these sorts of eye movements where your eyes, like you move them like left and right and things like that while you're talking about the negative experience that you went through. And basically through those eye movements, it helps to desensitize you to the negative emotions and then talk them through and replace them with more neutral emotions anyways, I don't think I explained that well. But it's cool because she actually developed it because she was out on a walk and I don't know if she was thinking something negative, but she started moving her eyes like that to basically help herself to basically regulate, and she noticed that it was really helping to take away the negative behind the thoughts, and she thought, why don't I just keep looking into this and see if it's something, and it was. And I think that's pretty cool. Again, I think I don't want to make it about her being a woman, but for me personally, this whole entire path has been about my feminine intuition and reconnecting to it. And honestly, it's not even, again, I think it does go for anybody, just your physical intuition about how to heal and how to feel better. I think that was really cool for me to read, that she also had a similar experience of just observing her own body and how her body reacted to the world. And that's how I got to my own conclusion. So I think that was really cool and inspiring for me to read. And I had no idea that it was a woman who developed this. We don't say it, right? I feel like we don't highlight enough women in STEM, particularly for me, women in psychology and neuroscience. I just didn't know enough. I'm going to show you somebody I learned about recently who is still alive, definitely, because she's pretty young still, and I would really love to meet her. I'm trying to find her name again, and first of all, I'm shocked by how few female neuroscientists there are in Brazil. I mean, at least on the page. I'm sure there's like significantly more, but I'd never heard of her either. Susanna, I would love to meet. And who is this? This is so cool. That's so cool. That's cool. It's cool to see more also Brazilian female neuroscientists. Like, it's kind of sad because I think that the list um is so small compared to the other countries. Like, look how many there are in Canada. Croatia got one person. Anyways, wait. I got off track. Let me find who I was actually reading about yesterday. Okay, here we have Natalia Mota, and I just learned about her like 2 days ago, just by pure chance. And this was so, so, so cool. She basically created a computer program to speed up the diagnosis of schizophrenia. So this computer basically, the program's diagnosis of mental disorders is more than 90% accurate, and it basically is able to take in the way that the patients are speaking and measure for things like because with people with schizophrenia, one thing that you can notice is that they typically speak in a more fragmented way, and basically the computer system is able to identify early signs of this and diagnose schizophrenia before maybe the average psychiatrist would be able to. And I found that extremely interesting. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt represented. Like, yes, okay, Brazilian woman, also working in, I don't know, I don't know if it's computational psychiatry is what you would say it. I don't know. But yeah, I was really inspired. So I think it's so cool. It's so cool to see women in science. It sucks because you kind of have to seek them out. Like, you really do have to seek them out. But I was really inspired, and all people that I would love to meet one day, I hope. But yes. Anyways, now that we've gotten thoroughly inspired, let's go back to my neural network that I'm attempting to build here. Well, now I'm inspired, but I'm also intimidated by the ambitiousness of what I am now. I don't know, it didn't feel ambitious for some reason until I just saw people actually doing things, and I was like, what am I even doing? But it's okay. We're gonna be inspired today. We have my iPad. I've been reading about long-term memory. We're gonna add in my text that I've been reading recently. I just feel like now I'm starting to get lots of good information about what memory works. Like, if you have not, I'm gonna remind you guys what my neural network has to have. We're gonna have like here, like we're gonna bold it all. We have, first of all, hippocampal memory. Then we have to have a sharp wave ripple, like gating mechanism. I don't know what this is gonna look like yet, but I'm gonna start pulling from things that I've like read. I don't know. We're gonna start putting together pieces. I don't know how complex I want to make this or how complex I should make it, but we're just gonna start pulling information that I think is gonna be relevant to how this thing is gonna look. I'm actually extremely nervous. Like, so nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous when it's like, what'll happen if I fail? Nothing. I'll just hate myself forever. and be down on myself. Just kidding. I'll just keep trying. But it's like, I don't know. I just wanted to work. Hippocampal memory, and then we got long-term memory. I've been reading about that recently. I might read more today when I really should be working on my research study that I'm actually employed at. Narrative function. This one, I'm gonna show you guys. So I actually asked ChatGPT, where did it go? Something good explains. I asked it, do you know any studies that have modeled something in a computational model like I have within there? I haven't modeled it yet, obviously. I don't know why I said it like that. But I wanted to know if there's anything similar to the narrative function that I've described to ChatGPT. Basically, I want the the network to tell me a narrative about itself back. Like tell me, like I'm gonna basically like this is like gonna be the least technical description, but it's gonna go like this. It's okay. It forms the memory, the memories in the hippocampal memory. Then everything's gonna start the ripples, oscillating, oscillating. Obviously, if the ripples are good, everything's timed well, it will go into long-term memory. And if it's able to go into long-term memory, then I want the computer to be able to tell me the memory. Like, what do you know? What's in your long-term memory now? What can you tell me about yourself, right? Now, if it's thrown off, I want it to still like then if whatever is basically encoded is going to encode, right? So then I want it to tell me still, what do you know? What can you still tell me about whatever you just encoded? Um, that's what I want to know. So yeah. So I wanted to know if there's anything that was similar at all so that I could have any kind of sense of what I'm even doing and like what it should look like. And it says there have been some that have incorporated a narrative or I autobiographical self module. I asked it because I was having trouble finding something along those lines. Like I actually searched at one point, like I tried to find some papers about modeling the self or like computational self or stuff like that, but I didn't really find anything relevant enough to help me out. So I was a little bit unsure. So that's why I did ask ChatGPT if it knew anything. So here we have embodied narrative in robots. A lot of it is robot based. I keep doing this and I'm like, am I gonna start getting I was like, am I getting it? I thought this really early on. I'm like, is this like android territory at this point? So it's like biologically realistic, but then like, you know what I mean? I was like, it's getting into android therapy. I mean, it's getting into android territory with this a little bit. I didn't want it to. It wasn't my intention, but very early on, I was like, this is because I started thinking about Blade Runner, the old Blade Runner, and started to think about androids and all, yeah, their like memories, like they had memories implanted in them in the movie. And yeah, so I thought it was pretty interesting. I'm one of those kinds of people that thinks everything comes back full circle somehow. My mom actually, so my name Raquel, right? And it's the Brazilian version of Rachel, sort of. So if we were to translate it, and what's funny is that actually, so the android in it's sorry to spoil it. I mean, I think they say it pretty early on, but in Blade Runner, there's an android called Rachel, and she doesn't know she's an android. She thinks she's real. And basically, actually, my parents told me this forever ago, like when I was little. One of the reasons that they named me Raquel is because my mom loved the movie Blade Runner, and in the Brazilian dub, her name is Raquel, obviously, because they translated Rachel. So I was like, so full circle that I'd be accidentally, potentially making some kind of because everything here is robots. So that's yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope not, though. I don't really want to do that. That's not really my intention, but it is kind of getting to that weird little spot where it's like a biologically realistic, consciousness adjacent creature. Um, but yeah, anyways, really creepy to think about. Okay, with that in mind, embodied narrative in robots. implemented a cognitive architecture in the iCloud robot with an autobiographical memory system, a shared plan module for recordings of interactions, and a narrative construction layer connecting episodic events into coherence. Okay, I think this one is actually going to be very important. How do I get there? Okay, here we go. The role of autobiographical memory in the development of a robot self. That's so cool. I'm actually scared, but I don't want robots like androids. I'm gonna download all this, but while we're talking, but I don't really want androids to be honest. Partly because Blade Runner like put me off from it, but also because our world is so dark and disgusting, and I just don't think that we need that right now. I don't think we need it. People cannot even respect each other, and they think that we're gonna be like, I don't know. It's just not our time for it. It's not time for it, you know? I'm really not for it until just I just feel like the problem is the people that would actually have money to enact anything of the sort would be people that I just don't like. So I don't like the kind of people that would do something. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think that we need to that's why I feel like we need to put in a lot of time and energy into fixing our world and healing our energy with each other. And that's like, I don't know. That's why I feel like I'm someone who's very for collective liberation, talking about, healing from the trauma that was the creation of race. And I don't know, just all of that. It's so important to me because I don't know. I feel like I don't ever want to contribute to something that I don't know how to put it. I just feel like it's just really important that we push for that. And I'm not saying we're anywhere near there, but I'm like I truly don't think that we are. But I just like it just kind of it's not even about what I'm doing, but it's just about the fact that we have so many pieces. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest though. I think that's the beauty of this problem. I'm a big believer in God, even though I can't fully comprehend like I don't see God as a man in the sky, but I'm a big believer in God. And so many things have come full circle in my life in such a beautiful way that I can't not believe in God, you know? But I think that that's the beautiful part. And, there's so much difficulty in the world that it's sometimes hard to be like, how does God exist in the mess of a world like this? But at the same time, I think the beauty of the world is that I don't have not seen anybody. I just feel like you need a special kind of sensitivity to even approach consciousness in an inadequate way. I think you need a special kind of sensitivity and a sort of understanding of humans and what it means to be human. And some of these billionaires out here that would have the money to do something like that, they don't have that. I'm gonna tell you straight up, they don't have what it takes. They're like lizard people vibes. So not lizard people in the conspiracy theory sense, but just you get me. You get me. They don't have the sensitivity it takes to create consciousness, even a little bit. They have the sensitivity it takes to create robot servants because they know how to make people be of service to them and to control people and dominate people. And that's the beauty of it. And that's where I think God is, that you need some sort of understanding of God in a deeper way to create consciousness. And I don't think that they have it even a little bit. So thank God for that. I think that's one of God's protections. I think God would know something like that. I feel like God puts us out here and lets us sort of try to unpack our own issues and gives us the space to unpack our issues in that sense and to try to figure it out ourselves. So I think that God is within us and that it's about us connecting to God and within ourselves. But I just think that I don't know. You gotta be able to sort of feel God in a special way, and God is not whatever these crazies out here are doing. That's for sure. That's why they just keep taking people further away from God and what God is. I know it sounds strange, but I don't even think you have to be religious. Like I don't think that it's about that's why I don't see God as like a person and I don't even see God as having a name. I don't know. God is just something beyond that. And I just don't think I think you can even be atheist and have a deep connection to God in your own way because I call it God and you can call it something else, but I just think that whatever these people have, it's not God at all. And they don't understand God even a little bit. I don't know. I feel like you can be someone spiritual. You can pay to go on a million spiritual retreats, have people like sort of pay to connect to God, pay to have people connect God to you, and it's just not going to work because God is deeper than that. Anyways, I don't know why I got so spiritually religious all of a sudden, but every time I think about consciousness, it's like I just feel like you have to understand it to that degree, you know? I think if you get yourself to the point where you're like literally making billions and billions of dollars, you can throw the money into whatever you want, but I just don't think it's possible to be very honest with you. I know billionaires go to church, but I don't think that billionaires have a connection with God at all. I don't think you can, I just think it's like, it just doesn't compute. It does not go together. I don't think you can be a billionaire and be in communion with God at all, like to be honest with you. I think if you were to actually have, I mean, they said that in the literal Bible, didn't they? What's the phrase again? We're gonna look it up. It's easier. It's like it's easier to get into. Literally, they've been saying that since whenever literally Christianity was invented. They've been saying that, and it is true. Rich people. I mean, not rich people. I'm talking rich people. Billionaires. They don't. They are the furthest from God on earth. They can go to church. They can do whatever, but God has nothing to do with them and their existence. Where is this text that I'm searching for? I feel like we're gonna have to have this must be like a really like intense and powerful work session because like I don't know, I just felt like the need to evoke like women and now I feel like the need to like talk about God. So hopefully that means it's gonna be like a really powerful work session for me today. It's taking forever. It's taking forever. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back. So this is everything that I wanted to have. I'm gonna start throwing in. I'm actually gonna take a second to start. Oh wait, I need ChatGPT for that. Sure, we're gonna start throwing in a little bit. This is actually good because it'll also show me what I haven't read, you know? So I do have plenty about long-term memory. Okay, this is like let's just start speaking it. We're gonna put in here, we're gonna put obviously so we need the sharp wave ripples, duh. I'm gonna actually open my like vocabulary page, you know? This is getting like really real. I don't know. I'm literally I'm next week I'll be done with my research assistant work entirely and I'll be done with some other jobs and it's like bam. We're gonna be reading. I'm gonna have so much time to read, it's gonna feel like a breeze. And then building it. Like, what? This is crazy. I don't know. It just feels so close. This whole project happened so fast. Like this whole thing just happened so quick. I was planning like, oh, I'm gonna try to get in a master's program or PhD program. I'm gonna try to like do something related to this. All of a sudden I'm doing it by myself. All of a sudden here I am. I don't know. It's been such a fast process, I think, and I'm just shaken. Like, what? This is insane. I think there's actually I'm realizing how much I need to connect still. Oh my God, I just realized I just feel like I just like I the pieces are all in so many different places that I actually need to like put things into this. Let's do that. We're gonna take some time to just put things into my literature review that are floating around. So the other day I read we got the role of okay, this was actually what started my whole search, my whole journey, because I was reading this text, The Role of Reconsolidation and the Dynamic Process of Long-Term Memory Formation and Storage by Christina M. Alberini. And so obviously I didn't look to see who the author was. And I was reading this whole thing, assuming it was a man. Why would I do that? And then I was like, who wrote this? I'm just curious. And I scroll up and it's a woman. And I'm just shocked with happiness. And yeah, so then I went and I looked up more. I was like, I don't even think I know enough. I mean, I know there are a lot of women in neuroscience. I was just like, I don't even know enough. Like, why did I assume it was a man in the first place? It's my own sexism. So thank you, Christina. And it's cool that she wrote this by herself. So that was also, I was like, okay, inspiring me right now. We need a new section. This is getting so lengthy now. We need a long-term memory section, I guess. Long-term memory. I'll do light orange. It's a good color. I feel like a lot of like, I don't know, a lot of energy is passing through this one today, but my godmom My godmom's name was actually Christina. She passed when I was really little, like 6. And she actually left me when she passed. She was my mom's college professor. So my mom studied anthropology, and when my mom went to school, she dropped out of her bachelor's when she was like in her 20s in Brazil. She was going to do journalism and I guess wasn't her thing. She dropped out. She went to school later on, much later in the US with my dad when she moved to the US with him after they got married. And she was pregnant with me. And so she was studying anthropology and she would go into class pregnant with me. And Christina was her professor, and she was so supportive of my mom and also of all her ideas and things. But then also she was really supportive of my mom being pregnant and having a child. And actually, when my mom gave birth to me, my mom kept going to class and she would bring me to class. So it's kind of funny. I've been studying anthropology since I was born. Literally, I've been going to school since I was a newborn. But yeah, so I would go to class with her, and she ended up getting really close to us, and yeah, and then unfortunately she passed a few years later when I was like 6 or so. We moved back to the US when I was like 6. I only really got to see her like one more time, and then she passed of lung cancer. But she left me a college fund that she was meant like she after she passed, money would go into it every single month. And because of that money, I was able to afford going to school. I went to an Ivy League school with no loans. I also got a lot of my school was need blind, which was really nice. So I got a lot of grants. But even with the grants, I didn't have to pay anything. So she's been supporting my education since literally like she supported my mom's education, my education in the womb. And then yeah, so anyways, that just made me think of her. I was actually thinking of her today and her spirit and her energy in my life. But okay, let's go back to work. Some other people that I would love to meet, like in, I guess, heroes of this project. I want to meet all of these big names that I've been reading about in structural dissociation. I would just love to talk to them, I guess, one day, I hope. And what they wrote and what they studied have been so important to me. And like just not only to this work, but just to my life and to understanding myself on like a personal level. So yeah, I don't know. I need to write a list of names. Send thank you letters or something. I don't even know because they've just done so much for me without, I don't know how to put it, but yeah. And I definitely one day need to meet Michael Graziano. I think that's obvious. One day I need to meet him because I keep being shocked. Sometimes I walk past the park where I was first reading Rethinking Consciousness. That was literally only that was like last summer. But I literally read that book like a year ago and look how much it's changed my existence. That was my first neuroscience book I ever read. I need him to sign my book. And of course Andy Clark, he also has to sign my book. Okay, I feel like I started talking in the last minute and I zoned out on what I was reading. So let's go back. Campo damage impairs human declared. Okay, I remember that. This is what I don't remember. Is been proposed. Oh, I already knew this, but we're gonna start highlighting some things that are going into the neural network understanding. I don't know, like the framework. This text was actually inspiring me a lot, connected with another one that I read. But things that, first of all, I need to process, but also don't necessarily 100% have yet to do with this particular project that I'm working on, but with other things that I've noticed myself processing. Maybe I'll go into it if I put some more down, but yeah, I've just been like I've been getting so many ideas of things that I would like to study more as I read, and I don't know, it's been interesting. Also, this project has just been such a maturing process for me. I just feel so different, and I've only been working on it for like 2, 3 like that. I started in April, like actually in April. I was doing other work that bled into this before it for like quite a few months, but I started really being like, I'm gonna build a neural network in April, and it's July, the beginning of July. So Like literally just like 2 months I've been working on this. But it's felt like a lifetime. Like I feel like I've been working on it for months and months and months. And then I look back at my videos, I'm like, oh, I literally started this in April. I feel like it's been 10 years. I think I've been so focused on just doing this that I don't know. I don't think it has even crossed my mind that I don't know how to put it, but that this is insane. Like what? But I think I've just been so like locked in, like so focused on doing it that I'm not like, how did you do this in 2 months or 2.5 months or what are you even doing or this is crazy or like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get me? I've just been like, just finish it before your master's program. But I don't know. It's just like sometimes I sit with it, I'm like, how did it even reach this level for me? I don't get it. Like this has never been me, so it's been a little bit weird. I think this is just a reflection of like my intense stubbornness, to be honest. Just so many different things. I don't know. I think do you ever are you ever so stubborn that you just find yourself in the most insane situation? You're just like, what? I'm like a horribly stubborn person sometimes. Okay, so these next parts that I'm writing here are actually not really crucial to what I'm doing, but are they were really important. I think they're going to be important for me in the long run, assuming that I keep doing stuff like this. And I wanted to keep playing around with the ideas. Basically, the whole point of this paper is that memory, basically there's like a period of time in which the memory, see if I can summarize it well. I've been struggling to summarize things because of lack of confidence instead I'm explaining it right, even though I can conceptually understand it, you know. Also because it's new. But basically, the whole idea is that okay, so the hippocampus, well, basically what I was saying, works with the neocortex to consolidate memory. There's periods of time though in which the memory, so you would in the past we thought that okay, the memory's consolidated and then it's there, like it's done. But basically, what the study was saying is that we've found, like, is that people have found that the memories actually, so they are reconsolidated throughout time, I guess, as opportunities come up for things to be. I guess if you, I need to remember because I think this was in the text, but like, let's say you have a situation in which the memory comes up, but maybe can be changed or something like that. And basically, then the memories need to be or will be reconsolidated. But as they're reconsolidated, they can like kind of change, or you can have parallel memories of different things. And that's why when things are in your long-term memory, ironically, like they are. This was what I was reading in another text about trauma. Basically, when the memories are really fresh and not fresh, when the memories are not well integrated, they're very they're ironically like really really crisp and just like really really I don't know how to put it but just too vivid and things like that. Okay, that's where we get PTSD. That wasn't a good explanation. But once your memory is actually integrated into your wider framework of memories and it's more in your long-term memory, it's integrated, it's part of who you are, it's ironically more subject to be sort of modified and more subject to being sort of reinterpreted with other things that you've learned. So, like, let's say somebody, do you have people that they'll tell you the same story over and over again, but every time they tell it, they kind of tell it a little bit different, or, you just get you start to remember things differently over time, or etc. Because it's things go kind of along, kind of reconsolidating and re sort of being reintegrated through the frameworks that you're learning over time. So it's actually important that the memories, I guess, keep reconsolidating because they have to keep updating to the updated versions of your life and of who you are. But yeah, so that's basically what this text is about. But I would really like to learn more about the reconsolidation. But it's actually been important for PTSD too, which I don't know if I'll go into it, but I'm gonna write it in my lit review. And what's funny is that going into this, before I went into this 100%, I just wanted this answer so bad. And I was like, I can't keep going without this particular answer because I'll never feel okay, because I'll always feel like some illegitimate sort of creature. If I don't understand how this works, basically, and that my experience is real, and that's why I went into this in the first place. But I also think that I was just like, I just feel like I have the answer inside of me. I was like, I just feel like I have it. Like, I feel like if I really set my mind to it and had faith and just like went into it, I was like, I just feel like I could get the answer. I feel like I could do it. So hopefully I'm right. So we're not done yet. I was like, if I already know what happened to me, how could I not just find this, right? Like it shouldn't be. I was like, well, I didn't think it was gonna be easy, but I was like, I just feel like it's already here, like I already have the answer inside of me because it's just explaining what happened, what so yeah. But it's just happened so quick, it feels like. Okay, I'm gonna do something awful that I shouldn't do because I've been doing too much of it. I'm gonna eat out. I'm gonna get takeout. I shouldn't do it, but I think I'm gonna do it because I this is the annoying thing. It's you either when you're working really hard, it's like, oh great, I'm working really hard to make lots of money and to like really advance my life. But at the same time, it's like because I'm working really hard, I don't have the energy to like cook. And it's like, no, because now the irony is that I'm making the money. And granted, I've still been making extra, but I'm like, a lot of my money is going to eating out right now because I've been working harder than usual. So you can never do both. I don't know what that's about, but okay, I think I'm gonna run to get something to eat because I'm really, really hungry. Okay, I'm still taking notes, but I hate this. I hate working so many jobs. Somebody get me away from this. I hate working so many jobs and trying to do this. It sucks. Because I'm working on it and then I'm thinking, well, I have to work on my other stuff, but this is seeming important, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and write down some things that need to kind of be in this. We need to have so obviously the gating mechanism that needs to have I think it is going to be acetylcholine. I've just decided it's not that well. That's fine. And then sharp wave ripples, acetylcholine. Let's go back to my notes. What I'm a little bit lost on is whether I need to have like everything. I don't know, like obviously not everything, but how detailed should this thing be? Like, this is such a big task. Such a big task. Pyramidal neurons. Okay, so I do think we obviously need to have, I might just be too early on, but I just thought it would be good to get like an initial little list going because I think I'm already starting to get a little bit of a sense. I do think that we're gonna have the ripple spindle coupling. That's probably an important one. And how does it work again? So this is going back to the other video. It's adding up. See, the videos are nice because I actually watch them back and then I like it's like my study method. So I'm probably gonna go back and watch this one again. I watched it again the other day, but I was explaining it to myself well that day. And reading it, I'm getting a bit overwhelmed. So I'm gonna go back to those. But the ripples and the sleep spindles align in time. So gonna have the ripples and okay, we're gonna copy paste this in and then I'm gonna sit there and think about it for a minute. We're gonna go into ChatGPT right now. Again, these are things I'll probably re-emphasize as I read the text. Like it'll probably be more solidified, but I think I just want to make sure that I truly so I'm gonna tell ChatGPT what I think I understand, and I wanted to tell me basically if I'm right. So basically, so this is how it works. Okay, I can't believe I wrote this. Can't believe I know all this. This is crazy. Okay, here's my synthesis of everything. Unless ChatGPT tears it apart and is like, no, you're wrong. This is what I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Basically, this is how it works, right? Memories are moved, not moves, are moved from short-term to long-term memory through a quote unquote neural handshake between hippocampal ripples and thalamocortical sleep spindles. These need to be precisely timed, or the sharp wave ripples won't really be sharp wave ripples. I didn't know how to put it. Neuromodulators like acetylcholine are usually timed to be going off during the day to support learning and memory encoding while also suppressing the sharp wave ripples. And then the acetylcholine is then, I don't know if it's suppressed or diminished during non-REM sleep and rest, which is allowing for memory consolidation through the sharp wave ripples. Is that right? Everything that I've learned. Imagine ChatGPT is like, that is 1% right. That is horribly off, and you didn't understand anything that I've been telling you for weeks, and I hate you. Come on, ChatGPT. My ChatGPT is getting slower and slower and slower and slower. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I've asked it too much and it's trying to like make me go away. I don't know. Just answer me. I think because I don't know if it's because I've been using, oh my gosh. I wonder if it's because I've been using this one so much that it's like overworked. I don't know, but I can't move it to another one or it's not gonna have everything that I've been talking to ChatGPT about. So, I don't know what to even do. Maybe it's all of them though. I don't know if ChatGPT is just slow because it's on all of my technology that this has been. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. I feel like I got an A. Like I feel like that was a school assignment and I got a little like A plus. Well, let's make sure it's a plus and not just an A or like a B plus. Subject field explained. Hurry. My God, ChatGPT is so slow. Have I mentioned how bad I want to go to Universal Studios? I literally have, I don't know why. I went there once when I was like 11, but okay, anyways. Okay. Yay. That's right. Of systems level. Oh, they gave me a term. Systems level memory consolidation. Okay. And for okay. So yes. So sleep spindles, and they must coincide in time. This precise coupling allows hippocampus to replay recent events while the cortex receives and stores them into long-term memory, like semantic or autobiographical memory. The handshake is kind of a cross-regional synchrony. If mistimed memory, okay. Only work when these levels are low. Okay. This low ACH state enables, this is everything I said. So he said, I mean, why do I assume ChatGPT? Honestly, I don't see ChatGPT as having a gender, but I don't know why I said he. Maybe I don't know. But okay, the hippocampus enters a replay mode, not an encoding mode. During wakefulness, ACH supports encoding but blocks ripples. This is what I'm learning with this text that I haven't finished putting in. I think that is why, because it's replaying. The thing is that you experience something and then it basically will play it again for you to like encode it again. I don't know like how exactly. I think that's pretty straightforward, right? Basically, it's like it's almost like showing it to you again so that it strengthens the memory. You know, like memorizing something, you have to see it over and over again. Some traumatic or sleep deprived conditions can describe night. I need to find whatever this elevated ACH at night thing is because ChatGPT has not mentioned it for the ACH, but for another, I think it's like neuro something. I can't remember what it's called, but another neuromodulator may contribute to fragment memory. Okay, that's what it says. Okay, so yay, I'm correct. Okay, that's what it is. We're gonna copy and paste what I wrote to at the top because that is my guiding force. But we're gonna have one more complicated part, which is that I just need to understand how the acetylcholine basically what's happening in a traumatized brain, what's happening in a dissociated brain that would make this occur. I mean, obviously more acetylcholine overall, but I just need to make sure that's all like backed good. Actually, okay, so this is where we were left off in one of the last videos. I don't know if I'll get to fully go into it. I think I had more from this text to actually add. I didn't add everything down. See, I'm gonna see if I can highlight some things that might be useful, like I did. I need to add the rest of things in here. This one is really, see, what I've learned over this process is that actually what's happening is that I'm seeing a lot of words that I've told myself that I don't know, or it looks a little bit hard, so my brain shuts down and tells me that I don't know it. But this is insane that I could even get to this level of understanding so that I know that all I need to do is just relax and let it like soak in, because I've just been really shocked. Like I've just been like, oh, I actually understand science. I'm not like useless at science, obviously. So I just thought that I was because I would see something like this in science class, and I didn't like recognize the words. I'd be like, "What, bro? Done, done." Everything shuts down. So that's why I'm like, I need to just relax and look at this from a different angle. This was the part that I really wanted to angle in on, is that even though in the long run there was less ACH, actually the reason for that, from what I understood, was that there was so much ACH in the beginning that in the long run, for whatever reason, there was less of it. So, but that would mean you'd have to leave the stressor for that to happen. And the thing about something like PTSD is that you constantly feel like the stressor is there. Does that make sense? So, if you're reliving the stressor all of the time, you don't escape the stressor. So then the acetylcholine is still like, you know what I mean? Because the rats didn't necessarily have PTSD in this. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is so much. Yes, exactly. The rats did not have PTSD. They were just stressed. And then they left the stress and assumedly, I don't know, I assume they did not have PTSD. Here we go, look. Maybe primarily caused by an increased release. We're just gonna put this into the acetylcholine section. This is getting real, guys. I'm actually discovering something, I think. Concentration of free choline was increased. This finding account for the increased release. Oh my god! Ah! Oh my gosh! I feel like I'm doing it. But I need to just double check that everything is gonna be good here and it's gonna be like solid. Because I still need to read considerably more about this acetylcholine, but like, what? This is crazy. Okay. Let's do it. The finding of increased CHAT, um, okay. Increased ACH release persisted even after 2 hours of this is something like immobilized something repeated over 5 days. Okay, so like I think they were completely like immobilized. I guess like that fight or flight that dissociated people get into. Oh my God. Oh my God, God. Oh my gosh, it's just all starting to come together so much. I'm actually shaken. Like, what is happening? Okay, besides the increased number, the hippocampus after learning also supports the assumption that bye bye fantasy model, bye, bye, don't come back. We didn't want you here. Bye. Bye. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is actually gonna happen. The results of the study demonstrated. Bye bye. I'm shaking. Oh my gosh, guys. This is crazy. Okay, I need to actually go into this one a little bit more. The prolonged stressor one. But yeah, this is okay. Sensitive. It's so funny being so into like a niche thing. Like, why am I so excited about? I don't know. Like, acetylcholine increase yet? Like, what? I don't know. That's so random. This has been such a niche experience. Like, I just feel like my life experience just feels so niche. I don't know how to put it, but it's so random. I don't know. Okay. Um, like who even knows this? I feel like unless you're really into psychology like that, I just like who would even know this? This isn't like a major societal thing. Like it's just so niche. I would never have run into this if I didn't have a dissociative disorder, you get me? Or I don't know, dissociative PTSD experience. Okay, I need to put the rest of this in here. Look, this whole thing is talking about increases in the ACH release. And this one actually is really relevant because it follows the exact pathway. Because the thing about dissociation is that people who went through a traumatic experience and experience peritraumatic dissociation, which is the dissociation that happens while you're in the midst of a trauma, first of all, that makes you more likely to develop PTSD. But the way that it went is that people usually, this was one of the reasons that they said that it was supporting the trauma model essentially was that in all of those cases, basically people would have more dissociation closer to the trauma, and then over time the dissociation would dissipate. And so this actually also backs that because this happened in the rats. The release of ACH increased to 168% of baseline immediately after installing the animals in the restraining device, and then declined slightly to 149% of control the next 15-minute interval. I don't know. I'm so stressed right now because what? This is crazy. Like this is actually kind of like legit. Um, associated, look at this. Look at this. Exposure to the stressor was associated with a significant increase in ACH outputs. Yes. Let's put this all into my thingy thing. Okay, what I've been wondering is what do I do? I need to understand because I need to know how I'm going to do this in my neural network as well. But how, what are the numbers I should use? Like, for example, should I make the neural network like go along with the numbers in these rat model studies? Like, okay, increase the acetylcholine to 168% of baseline. Can I do that? I don't know. I might ask ChatGPT that because I just want it to be a realistic number. So I might do that. Who knows if that's the amount in humans? And that's the thing where it gets complicated, but maybe I can find a study, but I don't know. I don't know if I can. But I've been having this has been a wild ride. I've been finding everything I needed. I've needed the whole time. So I'm not even gonna trust. I mean, I'm not even gonna doubt. I can't believe I'm doing this. I wanted to do this and now I'm doing this. What I feel so shook. This is crazy. Science is so fun, guys. What? Why was I not doing this before? This is so cool. This is so cool. What the heck? Okay, this is crazy. Okay. Here we go. What is even happening? This is what it's gonna be like, and then it's gonna move into long-term memory. We need to add some stuff to this. Again, I'm still reading. I need to add so many of my text to this, like a lot. I feel like okay, it's been good to put my ideas out and like really understand, but like at the same time, I need to put everything into my notes because they're really important for moments like these. This is actually real. What is my life? What is happening? This is crazy. I can't believe I've been so shaken. I can't believe I just decided to do this and I didn't give up and I just kept going and like I never stopped. What in the world? What kind of consistency levels? I'm saying this for me myself, not even to be like showing off or something, but because I this was not me. Like I feel like I wasn't someone who gave up per se, but I did not think that I had the level of determination and follow through necessary. I thought, oh, it's one of those things where you think you're just going to give up. And it's like, oh, well, I just give up on everything anyways. And it just ends up getting dropped off to the side because it's never felt this important. This has been the most important feeling thing I've ever done. I'm like, this is so necessary. I can't give up. And I don't know. This has been insane. I think I'm really in this mood tonight because I'm actually putting everything together, but this is insane that I'm doing this. Okay, I need to learn more about hippocampal memory. I just don't know enough yet. I have a lot of questions here. And then here, narrative function, that's what we're going to read next. I need to send them to my iPad. This is getting a little bit chaotic because I think I have such a sense of what I need that before I was just reading. Now I feel like I've just been like in such a, I don't know, I feel like I know what I need to the degree that it's hard to even read everything in order, but I'm just gonna keep going with the flow and just keep, yeah, I don't know. This is absolutely insane that I'm doing this. I don't even know. But okay, I think I'm gonna stop it there because what? This is like legit right now that I did all this. And this is like how this is it right here. This is how it's gonna work. And then we're gonna have like one that's going to have the like elevated amounts. I think I can even with that, I bet you I can get even more precise because I've been shaken by the amount of precision that I've gotten. And I think I'll have a really precise end thing. What? Okay. I have other work to do. It's 11. I still need to finish things. I need to schedule emails to send first thing in the morning. I need to do it, this and this and that. And I really want everything is closed right now, but I want cake. I want cake and it's Sunday night and Morrison's is closed. So I guess I don't know. I guess we're not eating that, but this is crazy. I'll find something. I don't know. my sugar addiction that I've developed over the course of this project. Okay, guys, I know this was a very disorganized ending, but this is actually genuinely insane that I have developed this level of expertise and collected this amount of information. Then this is real and this is how it works and it's gonna happen and it's gonna work and I'm gonna write it and publish it and oh my God. Okay, 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 okay. Good night.